The Athletic released their top 20 impact rookies to look out for in 2024. Number one on that list was Kyle Harrison from your San Francisco Giants, who you mentioned earlier. Penciled at number 3 in your rotation.
That's right.
Now, this is written by this article is written by Keith Law, which I find him kind of obnoxious at times, but I thought I wanted to bring this article up. It was notable to me because our podcast is represented very well in the top 6, actually. 4 of the top 6 are teams that we cover on a weekly basis here. That was Kyle Harrison with your Giants. And number 3 was Michael Busch from the Cubs. He thinks Michael Busch is potentially going to be a 20-plus home run hitter with a 785 OPS, potentially. He's 26 years old. It makes sense. He just barely makes it in as a rookie candidate. If you made your debut as a 27-year-old, you couldn't be considered a rookie, which is kind of strange. But there's high hopes for Michael Busch to man first base for the Cubs. But the thing I really wanted to talk about was with my Tigers, how they have number 5 and number 6 on this list, starting with Colt Keith, of course, second baseman, who signed the, all in all, a 9-year, $82 million deal. But in actuality, it's a 6-year, $28 million deal to man second base for the Tigers. We talked about him quite a bit a couple weeks ago. Keith Law concurs that he's got a big upside. He calls him a dark horse rookie of the year candidate, which I like to hear. He thinks he's going to hit 40 doubles, 12 to 15 home runs, 810 OPS. His history is of hard contact, and that's what everybody likes about Colt Keith. And I think particularly Tigers president and GM Scott Harris saw that and thought it was worth his while to sign him to a long-term deal because of that hard hit contact rate. But beyond that, the other rookie Beyond that, the other rookie to watch, and who's probably tune in next week, but I think I might make this fellow my rookie of the year in the American League. Parker Meadows, center fielder for the Tigers. He came up last year for a brief stint and immediately supplanted Riley Green in center field, which is quite the task because Riley Green is one hell of a center fielder. Parker Meadows is demonstrably better. A little bit faster and just a fantastic fielder. So that's another good thing I have going for me and all Tigers fans. Basically, I have two center fielders in the outfield every day. Riley Green in right field now. Love that. Keith Law particularly thinks that Parker Meadows is good for at least 30 doubles and 15 home runs. Not quite the same power level as a Colt Keith potentially, but I think the defense is going to set Parker Meadows apart, at least in the rookie of the year conversation, because I think he's going to be one of the best center fielders in the American League immediately. Just some things to watch, just some things I had percolating that were corroborated by national media. Again, I'm not a big fan of Keith Law, but I just thought it was interesting that our teams were so well represented in his list there. I could not mention it.
No, I agree. When you think about how over the years, I think the Giants farm system had a pretty bad rap a couple years back, and now they seem to be back near the top of it. And the Tigers, we can say what we want about Sleepy L over there, but a lot of the farm system guys who are coming up right now are part of what he did. So,
I mentioned Jackson Jobe last week. We did a whole segment on that. That is an Al Avila draft pick. So
so
Al's draft picks didn't come up at the right time to save his job, but now they're starting to work out.
Yeah, I think for Al, it was his poor decisions on bringing in major league talent. Like the trades he made or the signings he did with free agents are where Al made the mistakes. But I think Scott Harris, I have nothing but respect for what the Tigers organization is doing right now. And
Scott Harris, former Giants GM, so you gotta love him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's towing the line and being patient, and I think it's going to work out well for you guys to where you're going to have this somewhat all-star like team all under team control, which is like a dream come true. Like what the Cubs were, and then you just
Yeah.
add you add one of the greatest speech makers since Martin Luther King in a Jason Hayward into your lineup, and
And a perfectly
all-star
timed
pit
rain delay.
and a perfectly timed Randall and an all-star pitcher, you know, to solidify the staff along with all the young talent to push you over the edge. And yeah, I'm not surprised there were two Tigers on that list at all. In the was that within the top six, you said? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's they're doing it right over there in Detroit, and you guys should get it. You should be excited. May not
I
may
think you
not
might
be
I think you
may
might
not be this year, but definitely next year for sure. You're going to be
I thought
running
you were
away with it.
trending I thought you were trending towards making a revolutionary announcement on our Nostradamus prediction show next week that you were going to have the Tigers being AL Central Division champions in
Well, I'm
2024.
crunching
Maybe.
numbers here. Maybe I'll do the reverse
All right.
jinx on you.
Oh, you diabolical. Yeah, I better be careful.
You son of a bitch, right?
We got to be careful with this power we have.
I know.
Word Hole Media.